If you had to choose right now the best 5 places to live in Northwest Arkansas, where would they be? My friend, I get that question from people like you all the time, and I figured, why not do a video about it? So here we are. Of course, they tell me criteria like, I want to live by the best schools. I want to live close proximity to work. I want to live by the trails. And I've come to find out that it's usually a combination of many of these different factors. So let's break that down for you in no particular order. The first best place to live in Northwest Arkansas, I would say, would be on or by a lake. And you should know that, my friend, that all of the lakes in Northwest Arkansas are actually reservoirs. And another qualifying criteria, the people that say, hey, I want to live on a lake, is they want that low sloping down to the water. Well, depending on your budget, my friend, that may be hard to find. But being a local real estate broker, I thought I'd give you some statistical information about homes on lakes in Northwest Arkansas. Over the last 10 years, Northwest Arkansas averages 193 homes on the lakefront each year. Would you be surprised to know that 2020 we had over 260 homes sell on lakes? I wonder what happened in 2020. As of the shooting of this video, it's an election year. It's also high interest rates, high inflation. So we are down this year, I would say about 30 to 40 sales of what we typically average. You may be also interested to know that in 2014, the average lake property that sold in Northwest Arkansas was around $330,000. This year, in 2024, the average home that has sold on a lake is 3 times that amount, coming in at $900,736. Needless to say, they're not making any more lake properties. So, my friend, if you're considering moving to Northwest Arkansas, one of the best places to live is on a lake. Next on our list as one of the best places to live in Northwest Arkansas is downtown. Now, all across Northwest Arkansas, there are numerous cities that have a 100-year history with a downtown area. And in case you're wondering, Bella Vista is not one of them. If you're local and you're looking for the best downtown, you probably are going to say something down in the comments. But regardless, the 3 downtown areas that I chose for our video today are downtown Fayetteville, downtown Rogers, and of course my favorite is downtown Bentonville. Now, each one of these downtown areas has a long history. They all have farmers markets. They have many events, festivals. They all have some type of Christmas parade or lighting of the square at Christmas time. For comparison's sake of each one of these downtowns, I took a radius search of about a half a mile from the city center or the city square. Since Fayetteville and Bentonville have a downtown square, I searched out a half mile from there. And for those of you that are wondering, I searched Walnut Street and 2nd Street in Rogers and went out a half mile from there. In the past year of downtown Rogers, the average price home was $300,000 and there were around 17 homes that sold. In downtown Fayetteville, there were 42 homes that sold in the last year and averaged just over $660,000, $663,985 to be exact. And coming in as the most expensive downtown out of all 3 within a half mile, for the last year, the average home in downtown Bentonville sold for $1,311,675. And there were 34 homes that made up that average. So my friend, maybe downtown is for you. You want to be close to retail shops. You want to be close to a brew pub or a coffee shop. Or maybe you want to get involved in downtown events like the Square to Square bike ride that goes from Bentonville Square to Fayetteville Square or Fayetteville Square to the Bentonville Square each year. And depending on your budget, you can find an apartment, condo, duplex, townhome, or a single family home in each one of those downtown areas. The next best place to live in Northwest Arkansas is on or by mountain biking and hiking trails. Let's be honest, my friend, you want to move to Northwest Arkansas because Arkansas is the natural state, and you heard that Northwest Arkansas has a very active outdoor lifestyle. So being close to one of the trail systems might be important to you, one of your family members. Now, if you zoom in on this map, right here in the dead center is just west of the Bentonville Lows. So I used that as my center point and zoomed out 1 mile from that area to give you some real estate statistics. If you haven't noticed already, me being a real estate broker, I'm going to bring up real estate in each one of these sections. Within the last year, there have only been 34 homes sold in this specific area. You might be interested to know that there were 22 lots that were sold in this area. Of the 34 homes that sold in this area, they were priced anywhere from $25,000 to just under $1 million. That's right, my friend, under $25,000. there were about 5 to 7 mobile homes that were inside of this area that were sold to the same investor. Now, those don't come along very often, so I bet to believe somebody's going to do some development inside of that radius. As far as the 22 lots that were sold in that area in the last year, those lots ranged anywhere from $3,500, yes, very low, $3,500 up to $335,000. Looking at this map, you can see that there's Blowing Springs trails close by. North Bentonville has Slaughter Pen. And what I do believe is right here by this Lowe's, they're going to connect Slaughter Pen, Blowing Springs, Tunnel Vision, kind of that down under trail that you might see right there, all the way over and have trails connecting to Kohler Mountain Bike Preserve, which is one of my favorite mountain biking trail systems in all of Northwest Arkansas. Now, granted, maybe you like Kessler Mountain, maybe you like Centennial or Lake Fayetteville, or you want to go hit the downhill trails out in Ponca. There are trails all over Northwest Arkansas, but if you're looking for the best place, in my opinion, for trails in Northwest Arkansas and you want to find a home in that area, this little radius right here, or maybe within a mile, mile and a half of this area, would be a great place to consider a home. Next on our list is a very controversial topic because it's very subjective to the individual, and me being a real estate broker, I have to be careful talking about crime. People say, hey Anthony, I want to live in the safest place. Where's the safest place to live in Northwest Arkansas? So my friend, one of my favorite websites I like to go to is crimegrade.org. I did the work for you, I looked at the map, but in case you're curious, here's the map for you. Focus your attention on the darkest green areas. According to their website and this scale, the darkest green areas are considered the safest areas. My friend, I picked out 4 zip codes that were all with an A+ rating. Would you believe that Bentonville was not A+ rated? Neither was Rogers or Springdale or Fayetteville, but parts of each one of those cities certainly were. But the zip codes that rise to the top are 72704, 72730, 72714, and 72718. You may be saying, Anthony, okay, those are zip codes. What towns are you speaking about when you're naming off these zip codes? I'll get into that, my friend, and of course, we're going to talk about some real estate in those zip codes as well. In the 72704 zip code, that's Fayetteville, Johnson, Tawnytown, Wheeler, Savoy, kind of the west side of Highway 49. According to crimegrade.org, there is an A+ rating. According to the website, has a crime every 10 hours and 32 minutes. Now, my friend, crime, depending on what you're talking about, are we talking major crime? Are we talking property theft? That is up to you to determine as you look at this website. I'm going to go high level for you. The next safest zip code of each one of these is 72730, which is Farmington, Arkansas. Farmington, Arkansas, according to the website, has a crime every 1 day and 11 hours. The next safest zip code is 72714, which is the east side of Bella Vista, having a crime every 1 day and 13 hours. And according to crimegrade.org, the safest place, according to them, not to Anthony, to live in Northwest Arkansas is the 72718 zip code, which is primarily Cave Springs, Arkansas, with parts of West Rogers and a little tip of Springdale. They say a crime there happens every 2 days and 22 hours, almost 3 days. Now let's bring in the real estate. In the 72704 zip code, there were 724 homes that sold for an average of $384,556. In the 72730 zip code, which again is Farmington, there were 327 homes that sold this last year at $359,861. In Bella Vista, or 72714 zip code, there were 508 homes that sold, with an average price of $364,828,000. Now, for the absolute safest zip code to live in Northwest Arkansas, according to crimegrade.org, not to Anthony, according to crimegrade.org, again, is the Cave Springs with the 72718 zip code. There were 175 homes that sold there this last year for an average sale price of $542,301. My friends, that's almost $200,000 higher than the average of the other zip codes. Again, my friend, crime is subject to the individual. Maybe you need to check out the sex offender registry. If you're one of these folks that are like, hey, I want to be this far away from fracking, or this far away from a cell phone tower, or this far away from a power line or a major bus system, my friend, we're not going to find you a place to live. You have to give and take on one of those things. But in my opinion, safety is not something to give and take on. Before we get into our last section, I do have a bit of a speed round at the end that you might be interested to know. But when people say, Anthony, I want to live in the best school district in Northwest Arkansas, where is that? Well, my friend, again, going to some of our online resources, going to niche.com is a website I frequent. You'll notice on their website that there is a high concentration of A+ and A-rated schools all over Northwest Arkansas, going all the way from Bella Vista, which is part of the Bentonville School District, all the way south to Fayetteville. Now, my friend, if you're looking for a private school, Dayton School, located in Bentonville, is not just the #1 rated private school in Northwest Arkansas, it's rated the #1 private school in the entire state. Many of my clients, just like you, whether they have children in the schools or not, consider a good school district or the best school district as a place to purchase a home in regards to resale value. For when they go to sell the home later down the road, they want to be selling a home that's in one of the best school districts. One of the best school districts in all of Northwest Arkansas, if you look at elementary, middle, high schools, private schools, and even charter schools, is the Bentonville area. Now, the Bentonville School District encompasses Bentonville, Rogers, Bella Vista, Cave Springs, Centerton, and even parts of Gravette. In the last 6 months, there were 1,746 homes that sold in the Bentonville School District to the average price of $496,630. Looking at a couple other quick factors, drive time to work, depending on the time of day, you're probably not going to spend more than 30 to 35 minutes on the road, depending on where you're coming from. So traffic can be a problem depending on the time of day, but most likely you're not going to spend that much time in a morning commute. And also, many people say, hey, Anthony, I want to live where the new construction is. Here, my friend, is a screenshot of our MLS showing you where the new construction is in Washington County. And here's a screenshot of all the new construction where it's happening in Benton County. Needless to say, there is new construction going on all over Northwest Arkansas in price points anywhere from $200,000 up to $2 million, just depending on what your budget is. My friend, it's always a pleasure to put this information together for you. Now you know a little bit more about what life is like in and around Bentonville. Thanks for watching.